We are 6 months into a 4-month renovation, and I'm starting to wonder if it will ever be done. Come along as I barrel towards an ever-receding finish line on my eco-friendly 1939 cottage remodel.
Back to the shower.
Countertop day. Have a light fixture in. Let's just turn it on because it's pretty. Hopefully they'll be here soon, but I came in to get kind of the countertop cleaned up. There is a staircase that's being worked on behind the camera, and I'll get to show you that later. It's already very beautiful. But yeah, let's get this front room cleaned up. I forgot the vacuum at home, so we'll see if I'm making a run for that, but see what we can get done. Oh. One thing I've noticed is that everything is a table surface for whatever trade is in here. So no matter what I do, like when I put fragile on things or not to set stuff, just whatever is in front is a table, which I find both funny and nerve-wracking, you know. I don't want these screws to scratch anything. Anyway. Somebody's going to want that one day, and it's just going to have been sitting there. Oh, that worked out. Okay. I really feel like I need the vacuum. What a simple thought. You're starving till you're not. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the kitchen. What we're doing with the countertops is obviously on each side there will be like work tops, and then the stove will be here, and we're gonna have the backsplash. I believe it goes all the way up into the window, so that should be quite beautiful all the way across. We could have tiled, it was one option, but I love simplicity, and I thought that just running the stone up, which is pretty common, but I thought it just looks so simple. Every time I see it, I think it looks so simple, and also it's very easy to clean, and that's a really wonderful benefit of having it go all the way across. So the piece of stone will go across here, and then it will also travel. They'll lift this down, but there will be a workbench here, and then the stone will travel up the same height as over behind the stove area, and it's actually going to travel all the way across to the end of the wall. So it's going to really define this whole space all the way through, which I think is going to be quite pretty. And we had just enough to be able to do this backsplash behind the washer dryer. So I like that the washer dryer is like appliances connected to the kitchen. And what's cool is that the washer dryer and the stove are the only appliances that will be visible. The fridge here will be paneled. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the stone looks in person in the space, because it's a bit blue, a blue quartzite called Elgin blue. I really wanted to go with something unique and special, but not loud. So you'll have seen in another video some of the choices that I had, but the Elgin blue was really just the one that Craig and I, when we were walking through the stone yard, we just couldn't walk away from it. So we kept going back to it. We looked at others. There were others we really liked, but that was the one that we just kept stopping in front of and then just staring at it. So we thought, well, that's the one. So hopefully we'll find out soon if we were right. I found the vacuum. Let's hope the power works. Okay, let's see. It should work. Power doesn't work. This power works. Let's see. Not done, but I guess it'll get done. This is the upstairs bathroom or the primary bathroom. So I'm just getting this prepped also for today's install. I wanted these to get filled in before they installed the cabinets, but here we are. So I'm just getting this all ready for install. And in here we got a beautiful, also quartzite. It's called the Crystalla. And I was lucky enough to get a remnant because otherwise I think it would have been too pricey. From the place that's doing the install, you were able to walk into the yard and pick some things that you might have liked. Do you guys think I'm tired? I mean, when I sound tired, can you tell? It's like so many decisions, which I'm actually quite good at making decisions. Like, I can do it quickly. I know exactly what I like. I'm also flexible, so I can change my mind if I can like climb on board if something has to change in a way that I didn't see coming. So I think that's all good, but just come a point even with good decision makers where you're like, seems good, you know? So anyway, the Crystalla is really cool because I actually could put a light under it. It would light through and shine through the stone if I wanted it to. I'm not going to do that. It seems a little fancy, but it's kind of cool. Plus there's be like a sink and stuff in the way, but you never know. Maybe I'll feel like I want to get fancy. In order to have a backsplash, we wanted to go up 6 inches, and we had already installed the faucet system, so I couldn't have the backsplash higher than the sinks. So the sinks will actually be installed on the wall, and then the backsplash will be below it. And the reason I did that was because this was already installed, and they were going to have to open up the wall in order to redo that, just to get that inch of stone, to make up the inch of the stone. So instead, I decided just to take the backsplash up 6 inches, and that way this will just be right above the stone. And I actually think it's going to look really beautiful because downstairs there is no backsplash in that bathroom, and that's also installed on the wall, and I liked the way that it looked. Of course, you run the risk of splashing water on the wall when you're turning it on and off, but I'll repaint it once a year, I guess. This, I had done a niche, but I think I showed you guys in another video, but I really decided I did not want it at all. There's just something about it that just felt like unnecessary. And then also the shower's right here, and I realized, where do I hang towels? Because this curves and is tiled here, and then I didn't want to put hooks here because you're trying to go into the small bathroom, so I thought hooks here would be perfect for when you jump in and out of the shower. It just has to get sanded and repainted. So this bathroom's close. I feel like every room is very close, but very far at the same time. Anyway, originally I had them put the solid marble that looks like the shower here. It was kind of silly because I realized once I picked out the stone for the countertop that I should have had the countertop stone here just to create a little continuity between the two. And also, this is such a beautiful piece of stone. I thought it's warm and pretty, and it would be just so beautiful right here. I had them drywall the sides and the top because this is essentially a dry niche because it's just going to hold like soap and a couple products. They're going to do a piece of Crystalla as the ledge, and then behind they'll mirror each other, which is really nice. It'll be wonderful, sitting in the tub to be able to reach up and have my stuff right there without, I considered putting a shelf here, but it's just so nice to keep everything open, and we had the space, so why not use it? And then I ordered a towel rack so the floors are heated, and I didn't have them, they're pretty pricey. The heated towel racks installed, so we had already done the floor heater, and I wasn't sure where I would have put the heated towel rack, so instead I got a folding rack, and that'll be right here so that I can hang a couple towels here as well, and that way after we use our shower towels, we can hang them on the rack and they'll be close to the heated floor. So I thought that radiant heat would actually help dry those towels a little bit more quickly. So I didn't even really, of course it's nice to have a heated towel, but that was kind of my compromise since I didn't know where I would put the heated towel rail, especially with the wall. I suppose I could have put it on this side, like done a nice thin one, but I think a really beautiful ceramic hook or gold hook or something like that. And then over here, it'll just be on the floor. Just a little folding. It's really simple. It's pretty. But like, how pretty is the tile behind there? Anyway. I'm gonna have to repaint this room pretty quickly. It's almost there.
My devil's side is turning yellow, lost half its leaves, right there in the corner, beside the coffee machine. Gave up without warning, didn't see it at first. Turned my back for a moment to it loosen its thirst, and I curse my blunder. Pick petals for keeps, and I can't help but wonder what led up to this. Did I cut the water? What ended the street? But something feels off here. I can't recall that I did. And if I stopped caring, one time's always the last. Was it too much sunlight? Too much weight in my hands? Some look.
Oh, the canopy doesn't fit, so I had to order a couple new canopies, and I actually like the canopies I got a little better than these, so I guess in that way it worked out. But I feel like towards the end here, what I'm finding is all these little details of purchases that you have to make to fix up for things that you wouldn't have even thought of or considered. So something to keep in mind when you're remodeling a home is all those little details. And with stuff like this, you just really have to be patient and open, because it can be really frustrating and you can't let it get the better of you. Having designed several businesses and another home outside of this, and then countless apartment design things, you really learn the art of patience and acceptance, because it's, that's just one of the many things that happens. So I find that if I just calmly approach each problem, it makes it a lot easier to just deal with it, as opposed to just living in frustration all the time. For example, with our closet, the shelving didn't fit above. I'll show you. Okay, there's not a ton of light in here, but I'll show you. The way that the ceiling goes, it's so angled, and when I measured the closets, there's definitely enough room for another shelf up there, and I thought it would be so nice to be able to store like blankets or whatever higher up. But ultimately, those shelves just didn't, you wouldn't be able to get anything on them because the angle of the ceiling. What ended up happening is over here, I was going to keep our luggage stored under this shelf, but we ended up having 2 more of these longer shelves, and I thought, oh, instead of returning them, I'll just create more space for me to actually keep jeans and sweatshirts and things, because otherwise I realized there wasn't really enough space for both of us to have shelving, drawers. More shelving actually is better than luggage storage. And then there's a little door here. I'll put a little flat piece of plywood down and keep our luggage stored in there, so it's just always out of the way unless we need it, which is really nice. I was like, oh, it's all foamed in, so it's the same temperature in there as it is out here, which is great. For extra drawer spaces, I went ahead and ordered like a single unit, a single alpha unit, and you can get casters for that single unit, so I'm going to put that over here on this side, so we'll have, I think, an additional 3 large drawers and 2 smaller, or 4 large and smaller, because it's on casters. Whenever I need to get to our luggage, I'll just be able to roll it out of the way. I've expanded our closet even further. This had to end here because of the entry to this access point, and now I'll have this rolling thing that just comes in and out of the way when I need it, which is awesome because I'll have that much more drawer storage. And I love this extra, like, you know, jeans, sweatshirts, and then we've got this up here too, of course. But you know, it's being willing to change what you need to when it needs to be changed without panicking, which I'm not really a panicker, but you know, just a little tidbit in case anybody else is in the middle of a panic or ever is remodeling their house and hasn't done it before. It takes an extreme amount of patience and care. The closet looks good though, right?
I want to do.
What do you want to do?
Okay. There we go.
Did it!
There's no way that working that easy.
We did it.
Sweet. Nice. Very nice.
Come look! Greg.
I like that.
Greg. It's better than I expected. I was worried about the black. Not a problem.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, wait, well, somebody do me one favor.
Okay.
That's gonna look good.
Yeah, sure. Alrighty.
Let me just go to the other side. Greg.
Very nice.
Okay, you're done. I figured if I ever don't like this, I can paint the black.
I wouldn't.
Just leave it.
Just leave it. Yeah.
Get out of here.
That's gonna go away.
It goes away. Coming to you from a painted room. Alchemist was amazing, and they definitely noticed that the other color was pink. Straight away they sent me a new ceremony. Looks great. I got 2 coats on the wall, which is really nice. I got dining chairs delivered. They sent 3 as opposed to 4. I guess the 4th one was broken. Things left in this room are to do a little sanding around the door here. Didn't do any trim in the house, so it's taking a bit of time to get everything nice and clean looking so that you don't see a seam where there's, you know, an internal frame. So we're working on that. Bigger thing is getting these doors painted. So I'm not sure if that's on the list for today, but I am dressed in case it is. Got to get this door painted, that door painted, and there's a bathroom, the guest bathroom door painted. And then there's also this little access panel to the plumbing on the other side of the wall. So should anything ever go wrong in this bathroom, there's a bathtub on the other side as well as a sink, they could access it through here. So I asked if they could take it away, but they said it's better just to have it in case. So I'm going to paint this the same as the doors instead of painting it the same. I mean, The color is basically the walls, but I had to get a semi-gloss, so you can't use Alchemist on doors like this or high traffic areas. So I went ahead and got a semi-gloss. So I'm going to do the same thing here because I'm like, if it's going to be here, I may as well just let it be what it is as opposed to trying to blend it in because it doesn't blend in anyway. I headed back into the closet today. Let me show you a few things. I'm building a little bit of a dresser. I'm going to add 2 more shelves here. I'm adding them today. That's what my project is. And then I'm going to add 2 more of these shoe shelves. I'm going to build that little dresser. Let's get to opening up and putting it together. Okay, I've got everything set out, and this is a scan for, you scan the QR code to do your directions. I don't know about anybody else, but I really enjoy analog, and it actually doesn't seem that hard to build, but I'm obviously going to do this because I want to make sure I do it correctly the first time. But I kind of miss the days of just, 4 papers with A, B, C, D on it. I'm sure, some things still come that way, but just a little note to Alpha in the Container Store. Sometimes you just want a piece of paper. I mean, now, this is a piece of paper. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'll see you on the other side of this because I got to use my filming device to actually get the instructions. So as soon as I'm done, you'll see it. All right, she's built. Check it out. I can roll this around. It'll mostly stay stationary, but the reason I want to roll it around is, again, so that I can access that luggage. But the nice thing is the ceiling height in the back of the closet is, I think, around 41 inches. And this without casters is 41 inches. I actually think that's 42 and this is 41 without the casters. However, we needed to put the casters on so that we could use the function of it, but it really doesn't pull it out too far from the wall. So it's working out beautifully. And the other thing is, I'm going to have a couple baskets here for laundry, and then probably another basket on this side that'll have just like extra linens, since we don't have a like technical linen closet, even though we've got all of this space. Sometimes I like to have extra blankets or like a duvet that I only use in the winter, so I can keep that in a large basket on the side of this. The other thing that we did was decided to, this had a, let me grab it, it had this front. These are steel shelves, and it had this front on it, and it was the trim, and both Craig and I felt that it just made it a little too clunky, and it kind of cheapened it somehow, even though it's supposed to make it feel a little more custom. Both of us felt like just the metal was nicer, and also kind of brightened up the whole closet, since this is so dark. Even though we love the dark, it just kind of, that's why I went with the white and the dark, because I wanted to have both. This rolling shelf, we only had 3 options. It was like white, graphite, and black for the top, so I went with white. And so that just kind of goes together with that. And then in the kitchen we have this extra wood piece. It's pretty much the exact width of this, and while it's not as deep, I just thought I'll put it up here for now and see if I want to keep it up here. It kind of brings that downstairs wood up here, even though it's really just like a tray sitting on top of it. I also got these shelves installed here, and I'm super thrilled because I feel like our closet went from like to fully functional, because now I have this full dresser, Craig has this full dresser, I have all of these shelves, and then Craig has all of these shelves for, extra sweaters, jeans, whatever he needs. And then also this is going to be his drawer where he keeps like his running watch and any extra watches and stuff. So we've got that insert for him here, and I've got one on this side that's more jewelry. And then he's got 4 deep drawers. I also have 4 deep drawers, and then 2 skinny ones. There's also a whole extra set of shelves up at the top. We each have 2 hanging, and then we have 1 all long hanging on this side. Okay, so Craig is shop vacuuming downstairs, so hopefully it's not interfering with the sound. But the only thing I have left I just don't have a pair of scissors here with me, is to cut this and just put that on the inside so that way it's nice and, just like a little elevated. So that's my only closet project left, but otherwise this is like nearly 100% complete. The only other thing aside from that is getting the door sanded and deciding on whether or not I'm staining it or just oiling it.
Color in the arc of a wave, dripping off words that
Okay, so we're at the house today, taping up these stair slats so that I can stain them. I have to fill some of the gaps at the top and tape, each individual, tape the staircase here in between, tape up top, and then we're just doing prep today, and then tomorrow I'll come back and actually sand and stain everything. And then Craig's gonna be working on cleaning the bedroom doors, the vintage doors that were probably in the house since 1939, so that we can paint those too tomorrow. It's about at this point that I'm starting to wonder why I'm the one prepping and staining the staircase. This is my close friend Jasper from San Francisco. He's the owner of the Meticulous Group and does impeccable work in SF. He pointed out every hairy detail of the work being done and confirmed my suspicions that the finishing work is being done poorly or not being done at all. I had the stain here on time for the contracting team to be able to sand and stain the posts for the staircase before they got installed, which would have been much easier and cleaner. We still can't paint in the basement because the brick is filthy, and if you look closely, the drywall is gapped, jagged, and there's no proper trim finishing the windows or around where it meets the brick. The floors were not leveled properly with concrete, even though I specified I wanted the floors to remain concrete. And that means that I will have to go back in at some point and do something different with the floors. At this late stage, I'm realizing it will be me cleaning and sealing the floors, and I'm starting to worry. The tile in the guest bath has overlapping paint and grout, so I'll need to spend hours scraping and cleaning the edges and properly caulking so that it looks professionally done. When they put the toilet in the primary bathroom, it's scratched all around the toilet area. The plumber looked at me in the face and said it wasn't him, and I just looked back at him blankly because the shape of the scratches are in the shape of the toilet. The white oak baseboards that I was so excited about have not been installed consistently or with proper care, so there's a lot of gapping and not meeting at the wall, and that's going to be something I figure out soon because it just doesn't look professional. And finally, not one of the windows or doors has been caulked or sealed properly inside or on the exterior of the home, which is pretty scary. Come along in the next few episodes as I try to work out how we're going to fix all of these things and see if I lose my mind or if I totally keep it together and find my way through this.
Hanging by a thread, lonesome, lonely as it gets. Lost.
It's a mess, a big one, but we got the stairs done, so let's see if we can get the rest of it done. And at least I get to hang out with
I
me.
was sleeping.